So you're going to buy a hanging basket and plant it up. What do you need to know? I think the first thing is you've got to decide what level it is when you finish planting. How high are you going to be? Is it going to be eye level and you're looking down on it? Or is it higher up and you're looking up at the basket? If it's eye level, you might only need to plant the top, and that would influence the plants that you put in it. It doesn't really matter that you can see the bottom of the basket because it's going to be about this level. If you're going higher, you might want something that trails. So you may need to go for more trailing petunias, or you may even go for a basket that you can plant through the side and you can hide all of the bottom of the basket. The choice is yours, and we'll explain why you want different baskets. So what size of basket should I buy? Well, baskets are sold in inches really. They're still 10 inch, 12 inch, 14 inch, 16 inch. But probably the most important thing is where you're going to hang it and what size is your bracket. So this is a 15 inch bracket, so it's 15 inches from here to here. And then this is a 12 inch hanging basket. So you can see that there's a bit of room here for the basket to grow. But also, this is a 12 inch hanging basket, so there's just enough room there for that 12 inch hanging basket to grow, and it won't be rubbing against the side of the house. So really, the limiting factor for your basket should really be the bracket. A 15 inch bracket is really for a 12 inch hanging basket or a 10 inch hanging basket. Once you get to 14 inch, most of the time your basket is going to be rubbing against the wall. So you may need to go for a bigger bracket. Hanging basket sizes are still sold in inches. This is a 10 inch hanging basket, about as small as you want to go outside. It's only got 5 litres of compost in. You won't get as many plants in it, and it will dry out faster. Perhaps the better one is the 12 inch hanging basket. This has got an extra litre of compost in, so you've got 6 litres of compost. You'll get more plants in it. Just remember, it will still grow quite big, so it's about that size. And then the next most popular size is a 14 inch hanging basket. But it will grow almost 3 foot wide, so make sure you've got room for it. And then you can actually go up to 16 inch hanging baskets, and we make 18 inch hanging baskets for pubs and restaurants, some really big ones. Plastic hanging baskets, why would you buy them? Well, they're relatively lightweight. They're cheap to buy, and nearly all of the plastic hanging baskets have an internal reservoir that holds a little bit of water. So they're actually easier to water and probably take less watering. For a long time, you couldn't really trust the handles, but now they're incredibly strong, and they will last 4 or 5 years. So plastic hanging baskets are quite long lasting. Some of them are recycled, so you're not damaging the environment. You can buy them in different colours. I don't think you can get away from the fact that they look a bit like a bucket, but with the right planting, you're not going to see that. Some plastic hanging baskets are designed to look like wire. And then we've also got this Plantopia hanging basket, which you can plant through the side as well. So you can put a plant through the side. Plantopia hanging baskets take a different kind of planting, so we put a video on the website to explain how to use the Plantopia hanging baskets. So plastic is a good option for a hanging basket. They're long lasting, longer than wicker, and they're easier to water. Wicker hanging baskets, why would you buy them? I think quite a lot of people buy them because of the rustic look, and they look natural compared to, say, a plastic basket. The thing is with the wicker baskets is that they're not long lasting. You'll probably get 2, maybe 3 years out of a wicker basket, and that kind of depends on the material. The other advantage of wicker baskets is they can make them into different shapes. So nearly all wicker baskets have a wire frame and then the material's woven around them. So you can have a cone shape, or your standard round shape. So this is a new wicker basket, and then this is kind of what it looks like after 2 or 3 years. So you can see it's gone slightly mouldy around the outside, and this does seem to be the material. So if we compare the new basket to the old basket, you can see it is really quite mouldy and starting to disintegrate, and then inside the chains are rusty and the actual wire frame has gone quite rusty as well. So that's the reason you only get 2, maybe 3, sometimes 4 years out of a wicker basket. The other problem we found with wicker baskets is the drainage isn't really good enough. And this is inside the wicker basket. The plastic liner has got some holes in it, but we find that they still get blocked up. So the best way is to pull the liner up like that, and then just cut the end off it. Just cut a little bit off the end, and then push the liner back down, and then you'll have a hole at the bottom where the water can come out. So wicker baskets, they're alright. We sell an awful lot of them, and I think it's partly because of the rustic look, but it's a short-term measure. And also you've got to watch your chains because they go quite rusty after 2 or 3 years. Wire hanging baskets, why would you buy one? Thing is, before plastic and wicker hanging baskets came along, everybody used a wire hanging basket. They used moss to line it and planted it full of plants. Perhaps the main reason we still use wire hanging baskets is the size. When you get to 14 inch, that's about the limit for a plastic and wicker hanging basket. If you make them any bigger, the sides become unstable and bend out of shape. So wire is a good option for a 14, 16, 18, 24 inch hanging basket. And another reason is that you can plant them underneath. So you can plant through the sides and round the bottom. So if your basket's quite high up, you can plant your basket all the way around and it looks really good. The one thing with all wire baskets is that they need a liner. So this is a cocoa liner, and the other option is like a wool or wood liner. You could still buy moss, but it's very rarely used nowadays. Cocoa liners, quite often they come with the basket, so you may buy a basket like this. Cocoa liner is incredibly difficult to cut into and to make the holes that you need to make to plant around your basket. And quite often you see people have abandoned them and just planted them on the top and avoided cutting the holes. You need a really sharp Stanley knife and need to be very careful when you're cutting into it. Perhaps a better option is these new liners. They're made from wood or wool fibre. They have a liner and the holes are pre-cut. So when it's in your basket, there's a hole there ready to put your plant through. So this is quite an easy liner to use. The thing is, with wire baskets, you're going to have to buy a liner almost every year. The cocoa liner lasts for quite a while if you can cut any holes into it. Eventually it'll disintegrate a little bit like this one and start to pull apart. You should get 2 or 3 years out of a cocoa liner. So the thing is that wire baskets are a good option for bigger baskets. You just need to factor in that you're going to buy a liner each year as well.